And hi guys, and welcome back to the Anderson Show. I have the lovely Faye with me. And thank you again for liking and subscribing and leaving your comments, guys. You've been brilliant. And today we're going to talk about your dreams, your goals, and if you should share them. So dreams, your goals. So it's like when we was talking about in our last video, if we have a purpose. So go and check that out if you haven't. So, what is your dreams and goals? So, sometimes when you're younger, it's like, I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a doctor, I want to be, and then as you get older, those kind of thoughts that you had and dreams kind of change as you get more mature and you kind of figure out what you want to do and kind of figure out your purpose. So for me, it's always about noting things down and kind of praying on it as well and seeing where God guides you with that. But today, what we're going to be talking about, though, is should you be sharing those ideas? Because I sometimes believe that as much as you have your friends and family, you don't know who's in your court. You don't know who's for you and who's against you. And sometimes we can divulge and share a bit too much information, and then you don't realise why things ain't working out for you, or why you say things and suddenly someone's negativity shuts you down and spiritually shuts it down for you.
Can I just interject there? I wouldn't share with anyone, close to me, not so much close to me, but be careful who you share with, because remember, God did say, what I wanted to say really, that came out all wrong. What I want to say really is, it's okay to share if you trust the person, but remember, God said what is for you is for you. No one can stop it, but they can slow it down.
Absolutely. It's that devil coming to kill, steal and destroy and have his distractions and that delay in your blessings. So sometimes we have to...
And discourage.
And discourage you as well. Because you can have a great idea. I don't know. You could be, say you're a teacher and for some reason think, I just want to open a chip shop. Just something so random and extreme and the opposite. And then someone says, a chip shop? But we have so many chip shops. Why is your chips going to be better? And the moment someone has said that, you're going to feel,
deflated.
I thought that was actually a really good idea. I could really see myself, going to Brighton Pear, open up a different type of chip shop, different flavoured chips, cooked in different oils. And you're thinking, or someone's like, that ain't going to work, And all of a sudden, what's going to happen? You're going to be sitting there feeling disencouraged and thinking, oh God, why did I even say? Or why did I think that would be a good idea? But actually, that purpose in your life may be to... And while you're serving people your food, you're talking into their life. You're making someone smile. You're making someone happy. You're meeting people. And that's what God wanted you to do. And like what Faye said, you may end up doing it, but there may be now a delay in that process because that person's just discouraged you and you're just like, you know what, let me just go back to my 9 to 5. You know?
Yeah. I know I've spoken this to you guys about this before, but when I started my cake business, everybody says, everyone does that. But in my head, I had this mantra going on, not like mine, not like mine.
Yeah.
So I went ahead. Now, supposing I'd listened, everybody does it. Why bother? Yeah. I wouldn't have that testimony to share with you.
Absolutely.
I think it's okay to tell, if you need to talk, because that's why we do share, because we need to talk, we need validation, we need confirmation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That this is the right thing to do. So talk to a stranger. Talk to, pay for a mentor. Talk to a teacher.
Coaches,
life coaches. Yeah. Google it. Find like-minded people. Yeah. Because remember, what God has given to you, what God has given to Charlene, He hasn't given it to me. Yeah. So Charlene might say, I wanna open a grooming parlour. I wanna pet grooming. Yeah. And I might be going, okay.
Yeah. Like, how's it going to work? I've never even seen you with animals or whatever.
God has given Charlene the vision, so He will give her the provision.
Absolutely. I love
He
that.
He will take care of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Obedience brings the blessings. Yes. Obedience. So, even people that love us can still discourage us. Like,
They'll be like,
So, you know what? Follow your heart. A little bit of a tribute now to Tina. Tina Turner died. Was it this week?
Yeah.
She was born to parents that they worked on a cotton field. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but they got paid very little, if anything.
Yeah.
And Tina, from the age of 17, she met Ike Turner, and she knew she wanted to be a performer. Now, she got in a relationship with him. Yeah, we all know how that went.
Very volatile.
But it wasn't until she was, don't quote me, it was either 50 or 60 that she started making money, because he just gave her allowance. She didn't have any money of her own. And when they separated, she still wanted to be a performer. She just knew she wanted to be a performer. She wanted to be on stage and performing hundreds of thousands of people. And they told her she could never do it. In fact, one of the owners of Capitol, shouldn't really mention any names, a big record company, said, "What are you doing signing that?" His words were, was it old nigger? Yeah, that old nigger, she sold out 120,000 people. All because she had that dream, and that's what she was passionate about.
Yeah, she had that burning inside.
And she weren't going to let no one talk her out of her dream.
Because remember, they were like, a black woman doing like rock and roll songs.
Yeah.
So imagine that. You said, I want to be, the next
Diana Ross. They would have accepted her.
It would have been, okay, black soul singer, ballads. Yeah, we can do that. But I want to do rock and roll.
That's what she wanted to do.
And especially being born and raised in that time as well. It was really hard for black people anyway to make, a good life for themselves and to make it out of poverty and stuff. But rock and roll, she was disencouraged. No, not rock and roll. But like you said, look at her now, sold out. So again, thank you for sharing that, Faye. Let that be your starting point. What is it you wanted to do? Because I find when you, like you said, when you share your dreams and goals, you've got to remember, people sometimes will project, their insecurities onto you.
Absolutely,
they're
they
low
can't
confidence.
do it.
Yeah, they're low.
Doesn't mean
low
you can't do it. Yeah.
It's like sometimes you can say, I really want to buy a house. And let's just say you're not even working right now. You buy a house when you don't even, that's Jamaican, so you don't have what, a pot to piss in. You don't have a pot to piss in. Where you can get money from? They don't know what you've been working on, and you may not have any money, but God's giving you right at the moment. But God's giving you a desire in your heart, or even you think, I'd love to own a 3-bedroom house, a 4-bedroom house, a 5-bedroom house. I'd love even to be a foster carer, or I'd love to do Airbnb. Do you know what I mean? The schemes and things that you can actually, do now to help yourself. There's so many things on like YouTube. People's like, buy a house, with low income. But you just have to make sure you get on the right program. You start to do, do your studies, do your vision board. The
Bible says, write the vision
and make it plain.
Though it may wait, it may tarry, it will come. Write it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Write it down. If you feel discouraged, you look at it. Yeah. You get on your knees.
Absolutely.
And God will confirm as many times as you like. But it's when you keep talking about it, looking for someone to say, yay, that's a great idea. Great idea. That might not come. Yeah. It might come. It might not come. Yeah. Don't wait to be validated by anyone else. Know what's in your heart and follow it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think the moment, and the thing is, the moment you work on yourself as well, and every day you sow a seed into yourself, we pray and we, try and think of the day being positive. But I love when God said to Job, have you commanded your day? Have we woken up and have you prayed? Have you done your affirmations? Have you said, this is how I want today to end, and always end on a positive? Have you woken up and you think, something bad's happened, or you've had a bad phone call and that's just tainted your whole day, and then and the week's been the same? It's easily done. But what about you wake up and, like you said, put that face of that vision board, or even if you have post-its for now, put those things you want to do and want to achieve right in front of you. Sometimes people put it on their ceiling, so when they wake up, they're looking up. It's on their ceiling, yeah. So you're thinking like, I want to buy that house. I want to be the next top chef. I want to own a Michelin star restaurant. And why can't you? And do you know what? Don't let age discourage you. I'm in my 40s. I'm in my 50s. I'm in my 60s. I'm in my 70s. And how old was Sarah when she had her baby?
Wow.
How old was Sarah?
90 something?
She was 90. Yeah, I think it was 91 or 92. Yeah. And Abraham, as you know, was in the 100 and odd. So, and she laughed. Remember, she went when she heard God say that, she laughed. Abraham will have, was it many descendants like the stars? And she was like, yeah, right. And you see what they did? They tried to rush they heard God's plan for them, and then is it Hagar the servant, and he rushed. So Sarah then convinced her to have a child with Abraham, because he was going to be the the offspring of Jesus, and it wasn't. It was Sarah. You see, so this is where you have to. Don't allow people to discourage you. And if you're unsure of what you're feeling like, because remember, God will give you big. When he blesses you, he will bless you big. But you have to believe that. You have to have faith that that's whatever he said is going to come true. So just sometimes if you think, God, this seems like very overwhelming, no problem. Get a pen and paper. Why is it overwhelming for you? Write them down, and then say, you know what, God, if you said I'm going to do this, and then rip it up and chuck it in the bin, anything, any worries or fears, just write it down and say, you know what, that's not going to be me. Rip it up and throw it in the bin. And then on the next page, start writing all your positive things down. Even if you start with affirmation. What's one? Any affirmations? Do you do any affirmations?
Yeah.
Do you want to share a couple?
Oh, wow. I am a child of the Most High God. I am blessed and highly favoured.
Yeah.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. All good things happen to me and all my loved ones.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I just wanted to go back a little bit. The man that invented, on jeans, there are little, what are they called? Trinkets, little tiny things. Let's say even this, the man that invented this is not what I'm talking about, but it's even smaller than this, right? It's such a small thing, yeah? Where am I going with this? Don't poo-poo your ideas, yeah? It's such a small thing, but because of this, he has created generational wealth for his children. His children can afford to live in the most expensive hotel in India. I think it's something crazy like $5,000 a night.
Wow.
Yeah. From a little tiny thing. So be encouraged. Yeah. If you have an idea, write it down. Don't share it with everyone. Absolutely. Find someone that is constructive. Yeah. And has got your back. Yeah. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a friend or family member. Could be like Shirley said, it could be a mentor, counsellor, a complete stranger.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'll show you what my daughter does. She has this little jar, and in this jar, she's written down on little pieces of paper things that are positive. So she's got like affirmations, like I said, things for your family. And what she does is, say you're feeling disencouraged, or you just want a nice word for the day. She opens her jar, and she takes one out. Let me see what's on this one.
Can't see.
This is in light green pen. Yeah. Maybe try and write in a pen that. I am bright. Oh, I am beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I am fabulous.
And I am fabulous. Oh, she's got quite a few. I am amazing.
So what does she do when she's feeling disencouraged?
Yeah, she kind of, to combat that, which is quite good. So you're kind of feeling like, how can you combat those feelings? So she writes down something nice, and she gets her jar, feeling, or maybe if you want some sort of like positive, sayings in your life or some words, she takes it out and she reads one. Or I will say sometimes, go and get your jar. Why you feel like that? Go and get your jar. Because sometimes we do have people in our life that are not so nice, and you think that what you're doing is telling someone a dream and an idea, and they're going to be really happy for you and rooting for you, and they do the complete opposite.
And another reason you shouldn't share your dreams with everyone, because God's a jealous God. He doesn't want anyone taking the glory. He doesn't want, Shirley tells me, I'm going to start doing some affirmations, in a happy jar, call it for now. And then I'll say, put a little ribbon on it. Yeah. And then when she starts production, remember I told you. Yeah. Remember, my idea.
It's all right.
So another reason not to tell people, because it's all God. That. It's all God. Yeah. God said, I will give you the desires of your heart. And that's twofold, I think you told me that. It's twofold. Not only will he give you what you want, but he gives you that idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's put it in your head that you're going to buy this house.
Absolutely. Because he said, I knew you before you was in your mother's womb. So when, in God knowing you, all the ideas that how your life is going to plan out and everything, I believe it was bestowed. You just wake up and some kids from a young age, I want to be a doctor. And they go on to be the amazing surgeon or, a high-ranking doctor. And their parents will say, this is what they've always said. I think you're born with that as well. And sometimes we can have many different gifts as well. So like my daughter always says to me, Mum, why am I good at everything? Like I can dance, I can sing, I can act. She's also
she's a performer.
She's a performer. There you go. So she always says, Mum, God, you've given me so many of these. And she says, God, you've given me so many of these creative ideas. And I said, right, so let's start with the one. We can't do all of them at once. You're going to exhaust yourself. So start with the one thing. Write that one thing down. How can you execute or the best way possible of making yourself a master at that one thing first, and then move on to the next? Because I do believe God kind of does give us more than one as well.
He definitely does.
Yeah, he gives us more.
We have many
not
gifts,
just the one.
Many gifts, but we can only work on one at a time.
Exactly.
That's been,
yeah,
a bit doolally.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything's for a time.
Yeah. And just before we wrap up as well, just remember, if you are with friends and family, you got to remember as well, their journey is different from yours. And sometimes, say it's a parent and a child, sometimes they haven't done their dreams, and they will deflect onto you their insecurities.
Absolutely,
they're not. I don't like to say that word failures, but for them, they've seen it as a failure. They haven't achieved. Or you can say they've always wanted to be a dancer, but it didn't work out for them, and you've come up and said, I want to be a dancer. Well, it didn't work for us, so go and get that 9 to 5. Go and be a doctor or a lawyer, something that's with more securities. And you may even go to, I've known people that's got like 2-3 degrees and when you ask them, it's because they felt peer pressure. Then they've gone on to do something they want to, and it's taken time. But remember, they've learned a lot of, tools and experiences along the way. But they've also said, if I had done what I wanted to do many years ago, they would have felt they would have been further. But, time's an amazing thing because God doesn't work in time. And it doesn't matter when you start, he will always, God's not a God that, he works in delay moments. So I always believe as well, if there's been a delay, it's because maybe that's for your nurturing, your growth. Maybe he might have given you something too early, you might not have been able to handle it. So at that time when whatever your passion is meets you, you're going to excel and you're going to succeed. So yeah, don't let age be anything that stop you, and don't let anyone else, stop you too. Would you like to say anything more?
You just believe in yourself.
Absolutely.
Believe in yourself. If you have a dream, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Re-educate yourself.
Yeah. Talk
to who you need to talk to, but just go for it.
Yeah. And I like what Faye said, re-educate yourself. I was an older mum, going back to college and going to do my degree. And when I mean older, it was only my friend and I was the only older students. Everyone else literally came out fresh from college. We was in our 20s with children. And so it was nice because they kind of look up at us. But then it was slightly a bit more difficult because we had responsibilities.
Juggle.
We were working as well. So when they handed in their coursework and their essays, and they're like, you two, and we're like, oh God, can you just give us 2 more days? And the teacher's like, they're not understanding. When we go home, they're with their friends, their mum and dads are cooking and washing their clothes. We had to go and start prepping food, start washing clothes, start doing homework with our children. And then when the night is done, the kids are in their bed, we're sitting there going, we're tired. Then we have to go and pick up book and start. But you know what? We did it. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. Because when it comes to looking at loads of writing, I'm like, okay, I have to really apply myself. But trust me, you can do it too. So guys, stay encouraged, be blessed, and thank you so much for tuning in again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So please like and subscribe and share and leave your comments. And remember to hit that notification button as well. Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.